In April 17, 2025, a quiet but seismic moment unfolded within the Pi network ecosystem when a seemingly ordinary file, Nexus-Revoluter/src/config.py, appeared in the Pi Nexus-Revoluter project and instantly reframed the conversation about what digital money can become. At first glance, it looked like a mundane configuration file, the kind of back-end plumbing developers toss in to keep apps organized. But closer inspection revealed something closer to a constitutional document, a blueprint for a self-directing, value-stabilizing, and fully decentralized economy that does not wait for human votes to function. Buried in plain sight were variables like "network_name", "network_port", "max_connections", and "host", settings that on the surface define networking behavior but in practice signal engineering for massive, global node replication, a lattice built for a planetary mesh. Then came the startling line of code that set crypto forums buzzing. "stablecoin_value equals 314,159.00". Though technically variable through environment variables, its default hard-coded value of $314,159.00 mirrors the long-discussed global consensus value of pi, implying that the system can operate as if consensus is already a fact, not a debate. Add to that a legitimate Stellar-based "project_wallet_address", complete with 56-character public key, and you have more than symbolism. You have a live hook into on-chain treasury functions, reward distribution, and protocol-enforced asset flows. Other parameters, "consensus_interval", "block_time", "difficulty", define the rhythm of value propagation and block generation, hinting at Oracle-like cycles that could synchronize with market data or governance signals, while maintenance toggles, SSL paths, and API endpoints round out what feels less like an app and more like an operating system layer for a monetary civilization. Observers quickly connected this architecture to a bolder narrative. Pi Nexus-Revoluter is not an application at all but a revolution layer, a monetary engine installed directly in the node infrastructure itself. By deploying code at the very heart of the network, the designers ensured that no single authority can flip a kill switch. Every node operator unwittingly becomes a participant in what some call a silent economic uprising. The Pi white paper once described Pi as the next step in the evolution of money, a phrase that sounded aspirational in 2019 but now reads almost prophetic. 6 years later, with the open network live and nodes worldwide running the Revoluter code, the ideal is operational, tangible, and perhaps irreversible. Critics see hyperbole, yet the strategy is clear. Bypass central control, let the network itself carry the trigger, and make the continuation of the system as inevitable as the spread of its own software. Supporters describe it as a high-dimensional portal into the next phase of digital economies, a distributed time bomb silently ticking across thousands of machines, an instrument immune to traditional monetary mechanics but fused with community-based value creation. Whether one calls it an upgrade or an insurrection, the Rubicon has been crossed. Centralized monetary systems can no longer claim exclusive authority, because a parallel, algorithmic economy is already humming beneath the old one, hidden in code, enforced by consensus, and indifferent to hesitation. In this reading, the config.py file is more than technical scaffolding. It is a declaration sealed in code, a bootloader for a civilization that will validate transactions, distribute rewards, and uphold a predefined value even if no community meeting is ever convened. The Pi Nexus-Revoluter is therefore less about flashy DApps and more about a philosophical break, a quiet detonation that rewires how money itself is imagined. For those watching closely, April 17, 2025 will be remembered as the day a monetary singularity began running in the background of the Internet, node by node, without ceremony or permission. Super Autonomous Nexus Orchestrator, SANO, is described by insiders as the final infrastructure layer capable of launching, synchronizing, and maintaining the Pi network's long-awaited open mainnet at a scale no human operations team could realistically handle. Far more than a simple orchestration script, it's portrayed as a meta-level operating framework that fuses cutting-edge automation with decentralized governance, allowing Pi to operate like a living, self-directing organism. Imagine a control system that doesn't just deploy code but actively heals it, monitors global node activity, enforces a predetermined currency value, and even coordinates community decision-making without a central authority, all while running across millions of distributed nodes. That is the ambition of SANO. At the heart of this vision is a suite of capabilities that sound almost like a blueprint for a self-aware blockchain. First, SANO is said to handle the global open mainnet launch, automatically deploying and synchronizing Pi's open network across the countless nodes maintained by pioneers worldwide. In practical terms, that means it can execute wallet migrations, user verification, and smart contract-driven KYC checks without waiting for manual coordination. Instead of a messy, human-led rollout, SANO could theoretically flip the switch on a new economic era with algorithmic precision. Its second major function, stablecoin value enforcement, is equally striking. The predictive analysis claims SANO will maintain Pi's famed global consensus value of $314,159 using quantum-enhanced AI to balance liquidity, coordinate partner exchanges, and trigger decentralized reserves, ensuring that the currency remains pegged to a price point long championed by Pi enthusiasts. While skeptics will rightly point out that no AI can guarantee a fixed market value against human trading behavior, the concept illustrates the audacious level of automation Pi developers are contemplating. SANO's self-healing architecture is another pillar of the design. In a global network, code rot and broken links are inevitable, but the orchestrator is said to include repository self-repair mechanisms. It can detect missing files, regenerate compatible code with large language models, and restore resources from IPFS decentralized storage. This means the network could recover from technical hiccups without waiting for developer patches, an important feature for a system aiming for true autonomy. Governance is treated with similar boldness. Instead of relying on a small foundation team, SANO would weave decentralized community governance directly into its logic, enabling DAO-style voting, automated bug bounties, and incentive payments through smart contracts. In theory, every pioneer could participate in decision-making while the system itself enforces the outcomes. Technically, the orchestrator is envisioned as a four-layer modular design optimized for horizontal scalability and modular upgrades. Each layer, from core network management to smart contract orchestration, is built to function independently yet harmonize when needed, ensuring that upgrades or failures in one area don't destabilize the whole. The goal is resilience, a network capable of surviving global shocks, whether they are technical, political, or economic. By removing single points of failure, SANO aims to become not merely a controller but the operating system of Pi's self-sustaining economic engine. Strategically, the reasoning is straightforward. Pi's user base has grown to tens of millions, and manual deployment of a truly open mainnet across such a vast landscape is virtually impossible. Automated enforcement of network rules, from block validation to consensus parameters, is no longer a luxury but a necessity. Enforcing a stablecoin-like value, even aspirationally, requires continuous, algorithmic adjustments that only AI can attempt. And genuine decentralization, Pi's founding promise, must eventually extend beyond mining rewards to include governance itself. SANO, as imagined, is the logical culmination of these pressures. A system that handles the technical heavy lifting, the monetary policy experiments, and the democratic processes all at once. Of course, it's important to remember that this is a predictive analysis and not an official Pi network announcement. No matter how sophisticated the orchestration layer, market forces and human behavior remain unpredictable. AI can automate exchange coordination and liquidity balancing. Yet the very fact that such a system is being discussed underscores how far the conversation about money and autonomy has traveled since Pi's white paper first declared the project, the next step in the evolution of money. Whether SANO ultimately launches exactly as imagined or evolves into something different, it symbolizes the growing ambition of decentralized networks to outgrow their human caretakers.